Hey, what's up, everybody? One coach's opinion. That's what it is. Just my opinion. Um, Very entertaining fight last night with Kovalev. First of all, let me give Teofimo Lopez. He's looking spectacular. I'm becoming a very big fan of his. I became a fan last with the Mace Menard fight, with his antics and his style, but he's backing it up. And last night I really became a fan. I'm gonna tell you, the movement, the punching power, the confidence, man. He's a sight to see. I mean, I don't want to see him lose. I like to see him tested a little bit better, but maybe he's just passing all the tests. So hats off to Teofimo Lopez. He did his thing. But I really want to talk about a Sergey Kovalev fight against Alvarez. Now, looking at the fight, and I see Buddy McGirt in the corner, and they're saying, yeah, Buddy's taught him this, Buddy's taught him that, and that very well could be true. But I'm trying to find out the differences. What did you see was the difference in this fight? The difference to me, if Buddy didn't teach him anything else, he taught him how to use his jab. Kovalev always had a good right hand, and he just had to be taught how to hide that joint in the bushes, have it jump out from the bushes sometimes to hit somebody. Kovalev just trying to ram it down your face. Once you got his timing of his right hand, he had started having a little bit of problems. But with that jab, and I say this to say, because I know people say, Kovalev is always jabbed, he's always jabbed. He's always jabbed. Don't get me wrong. He's always jabbed, but now he jabs more, and his jab is better. It's one thing about just throwing a jab out there because you're trying to land your right hand. It's another thing about throwing a real impressive, respectable jab out there. And he was killing Alvarez with that jab, and that was stopping Alvarez from balance. That was stopping him from sitting on power punches, and it was helping Kovalev land his right hand over the top much better. Kovalev, you look at it, he doesn't do much. That's basically what you see. You're gonna see a jab, right hand, back it up with a jab. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you've seen a few hooks. You don't really see him go to the body that much. He has other things in his arsenal, but he's basically pretty fundamental. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see a bunch of slick moves or, oh, did you see what that Kovalev shot? At least not right now. To me, it was the jabs. Now, if you look at the first fight, Kovalev threw, it ended in the 7th round. By the 7th round, Kovalev threw about, I say 160 some jabs, and probably landed maybe around 30 or something like that. Now, this fight here, Kovalev threw close to 400 jabs and landed 60 jabs, which still is saying, well, damn, we threw away a lot of jabs. But the jab was so busy and respectful that he might not have landed the jab, but it made Alvarez pay attention to the jab a lot more, which opened up the right hand. And Alvarez couldn't set his feet because Kovalev kept a jab. He was starting and finishing with a jab. You think about it, he had already thrown, by the 6th round, if you go halfway through of this fight, by the 6th round, he had thrown close to 200 jabs. He had thrown more jabs, almost 100 more jabs than he threw in his first fight that ended in the 7th. By the 6th round, he threw almost 100 more jabs. By the end of the fight, like I said, it was like 300, close to 400 jabs. He landed about 60. But like you see, none of his jabs were just that peckering jab, just let me block your vision. He was actually landing jabs. The jabs he was landing, Alvarez was stepping into. It was keeping him off balance. That's the big difference I saw. It wasn't, he's dancing around, he's moving around. He was a slight bit more agile. He still has problems to me. Kovalev fights with his hands up sometimes, but when he backs up or hops back for defense, he drops his hands and they abandon his face. So, he still has some defensive problems, but I guess the leg movement must have paid off because Alvarez wasn't able to sit. He's not sitting there just trading, believing that, I just hit hard on you and that's how it's going to be. He's not fighting like that anymore. So, as far as I can see, Buddy McGirt did a pretty good job with him, especially basing this on him fighting the same fighter. Now, sometimes it's hard to judge whether a coach comes in and does a good job if a fighter fights somebody totally different, because you always say, well, wait till he fights him again. This time he fought him again. So you could say that that wasn't the same Alvarez, if you really want to say that. I really didn't see that. You could say that. You could say Alvarez became champ and got lazy. I mean, you can give 1,000 reasons to why that wasn't the same Alvarez, but factoring in that jab, that's why I had to look. And I was looking at the whole time, watching him pop his head back, watching him land certain shots, watching Alvarez. And Alvarez would come out like the beginning of rounds and try to dump to the body. Like, you know, he was, I guess when you get that rumor that you tire easy and you're going to run out of gas, fighters bank on it, because from the jump, you know, they were saying that we're going to catch him in the later rounds. But only problem with that game plan is, what if the later rounds never come? Or what if in the later rounds that plan's not working? He's still moving, he's still jabbing, he still has the energy, you know? I mean, Kovalev fought a good fight. I mean, you know, like I said, you don't look at Kovalev and say, oh my God, this guy, you know, look at the skills, whatever. You kind of look at Kovalev and just enjoy the basics. And sometimes, to be honest, the basics of boxing, man, you know, are unstoppable. Sometimes just being your basic three-piece, your 1-2, and being able to work it right. I mean, you know, I love all the slick stuff. I love all the maneuvers. I love that. Wow, did you see him land that punch? Like I said, the Lopez fight in front of that, I mean, this guy's moving away, he getting out angles. See that double hook he landed to knock the guy out? I mean, that was beautiful. But you're not, I don't think you're ever going to get that from Kovalev. Kovalev knows I know how to put my right hand on your temple. And if you can stop me from putting my right hand on your temple, then you got a chance of winning this fight. But if he adds that jab, and if his jab gets any better, I mean, he might regain the notoriety he had in the 175-pound weight class. You know, I believe that this is something to say, oh yeah, Kovalev's back, but now you'd like to see a few more good fights just to make sure him and Buddy are gelling like they're supposed to be gelling, you know. And you kind of wonder you always wonder what makes a fighter choose a certain coach. You wonder what made him choose Buddy, you know. I'd love to hear the story behind that. But other than that, you know, it was a very good fight. Alvarez never stopped coming. I'm giving hats off to Alvarez. He kept trying. I just think that the jab was a little different. The jab was a little different this time. It didn't let him get off like he was supposed to get off. So one coach's opinion, I had to make this because, you know, I'm boxing, sticking and moving and using that jab. That's what I do. And when I saw that fight, I was just like, oh man, this is remarkable. I got to see the punch stats. Got to see how much jabs he land. He could probably tend to land more jabs, but like I've always said, sometimes it's not the punch you land the most that controls the fight. Especially since he threw so many of them and his percentage of landing was kind of low. Sometimes it's not that punch that you're landing that controls the fight. It could be a punch that's just controlling the fight because it's an active punch and it makes somebody look out for it. I think Alvarez looked out for the jab, and the jab had him. The jab opened up the right hand a little bit more. So one coach's opinion. Let's see how Kovalev does. Did y'all notice the jab? Let me know, coaches.